Yo, what is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. Guys, today we did finish all of Domination for Pink Diamond George Mikan. Before we go any further, if you are new to the channel and have not yet, please smash that subscribe button as you're on the road to 35,000 subscribers. George Mikan is 6'10", 83 ball, 75 driving dunk. Very good on the defensive end, 80 blocks, 75 steal, great rebounder, 69 speed. His lateral quickness is down low at a 55 though. Looking at his badges here, he's got 3 on Hall of Fame, 27 gold badges, Hall of Fame post-spin technician, drop stepper, and putback boss. So not very good Hall of Fame badges, 27 gold badges, catch and shoot, relentless finisher, rim protector, box, heart crusher, intimidator, rebound chaser, post blue, lockdown, ties defender. As you guys can see, a ton of defensive badges, as well as flexible release, green machine, and brick wall. When you look at what badges you can apply to him, he does have 5 available spots, as well as an upgradable green machine badge. So I don't know, man. I think Green Machine might be upgradable because do I have a Hall of Fame? I think it's because I have a Hall of Fame Green Machine badge. The other badges might be upgradable as well. I don't really know how the badge system works yet, but what I will tell you is I'm super excited to play with George Mikan. Without further ado, let's hop right into Shootaround. Hopping right into Shootaround, obviously George Mikan is not going to be able to dribble the ball. I mean, that's not what I'm expecting. What I am expecting is hopefully a pretty decent release. I got a green one with Mikan. I'm struggling. It's all cause I've just been struggling with the meter lately. Like with the shot stick, I've been on the struggle bus. I really have been. There's the first green that we're looking for. And each player has their own unique release, and that's something to monitor as well. And no, each player is gonna have their own release. See, once I got one, I've gotten like 4 in a row. That one was just off the mark. But each player has their own release. As you guys can see, this is probably online sliders. I haven't even went and checked, but it's pretty easy to green on the rookie, basically, online sliders. So it's another important thing to note is that each player does have their own, even if you use the stick release, like a guy like Brian Russell is a guy who, with this stick, if you miss with him something's wrong with you. You should not miss with a guy like that. But with some other guys, it is harder to shoot with the stick. Compare Jimmy Butler, for example, to like Anthony Davis. Jimmy Butler, it's way easier to green with him just because of his stick release. It's a lot easier to green, in my opinion. And each person has their own individual release, and so that's important to note as well. As you guys are seeing, I'm struggling a little bit with the stick here. A lot more shots should be green than I'm greening right now. But once I get the hang of Mikan's release and his timing, whoa, that was way left, I will be able to start greening. That one was even from pretty deep. He doesn't even have range extender yet. I think you can apply it to him, but George Mikan just looks like he has an absolute burner right now. He's greening almost every single shot as long as it's within the green window, guys. Without further ado, let's hop right into a gameplay. Hopping right into a gameplay here, I'm up against Russ, Harden, Kawhi, LeBron, and Jokic. Meanwhile, I got those guys. So this should be a fun gameplay for George Mikan. I actually forgot to put in the Bucks playbook, but that's fine. We're basically going to run all pick and pop anyways with George Mikan. I wish George Mikan had a little better lateral quickness. That's the one downside. I feel like the one noticeable thing I felt like that stood out to me with his stats is that lateral quickness not being super high. But everything else about the card, I think he is going to be a dog. I really truly do, because he's going to be able to stretch the floor, which is big. My first fat lever gameplay too here. Hey, oh my, that's a good contest. Look at Russell Westbrook come over. But first time I've used fat lever as well, so he's a very good defender in his own right. So a couple new guys in the lineup, and we're just gonna test them out here. Let's see, George Mikan. Let's get him in a pick and pop. But somebody better stop fat lever, man. Somebody better stop my boy. Run deep pass. Sean Elliott's all over that. Look it right to George Mikan. Here, pick and pop. Little pick and pop ski. Back to Mikan. Mikan, first shot of the day isn't green, but it might as well be. George Mikan from the corner. Got to be able to rebound at a high level for me. George Mikan sent me another one. Let's see what kind of tween fat got. Ew. Back to Mikan. Back to Mikan, and that's not green either. I don't understand. I feel like I'm right in the center of it. It should be a perfect release. Nonetheless, Mikan gets it back on the defensive end with a big steal and slam. George Mikan is off to a pretty good start, although that shot should have been green. Wow, look at Russ going in amongst the trees. Not against George Mikan and Dave DeBusschere, though. Fat, back to George. George eventually is going to get it going. I don't understand how I'm missing these threes. I feel like it's right in the middle, right on that line when I'm clicking it every single time to lock it in. I just haven't gotten a green light yet. Look at Dave. This is why I brought Dave on the squad. This is why I got you on the squad, Dave. Dave the Busher gameplay or George Mikan gameplay. You couldn't tell by the way the game's going. George Mikan back to... Alright, you got a baby in there, George. You got a baby in there, George. You drop step him. You got a baby in there. George Mikan is up to 7 points. Good, Sean. Good defense. Again, he has nowhere to go. George Mikan on the break. Stop. Pop. That's not green either. What can I do right now to get a green light? I will do whatever it takes. Fat can't green that one either. And I hit it lightly. My, oh my. That's not the guy you're going to want to attack on the defensive end. Trust me when I say Dave the Busher is elite on defense. George Mikan cleans up every rebounding opportunity. Into Dave. That's a slam dunk. I do feel like in the pick and pop, he is going to be very, very, very deadly. That's an easy run. You're not stopping George Mikan. Take flight. George with the and one on top of Doug Christie. George, if he hits this, is up to 10 points early on in the first quarter. Playing very, very good all-around basketball. Oh, he's got Shaq in the game. Ew, George Mikan, you can just sit in the paint for all I care. But look at how Fat Lever's playing defense right now. Fat Lever is boxing everything he's trying to do. Run. Into George Mikan again. George Mikan is getting it done on both ends of the court, and Kenny has had enough. George Mikan got us a quit in the very first quarter of that unlimited game, guys. Let's put in George Mikan here in a triple threat gameplay to see if he can replicate that performance. Let's put Fat Lever as well as Al Horford in just to try some of the new cards out. George Mikan's contracts are super expensive, but it is what it is. Let's hop right into a game here. Hopping right here into a TTL game. I've not played a lot of triple threat online. Wow, George Mikan in the lanes on the very first possession of the game with a windmill slam. Wow, George Mikan is incredible. I just realized 2K gave me a loss for that. 2K, fix your game, man. Why do I get a loss? Hopping into another game here. We're up against a team we should just demolish. He's got Braun, Donovan Mitchell, and Karl-Anthony Towns. I just don't have a lot of speed right now, so Fat Lever is going to have to create almost every single play for me. I do think George Mikan in the pick and pop situation is going to be incredible. I just got to get that release down to a science so it's green every single time. He has a good three ball. It's a quick enough release. I should be able to green very, very consistently with George Mikan. Think about Al Horford is his lateral quickness is extremely good compared to what his speed is. So that's something you have to know. You have to know what Al Horford is going to give you. Fat from deep gets it to go. Fat Lever, big time three. And we can't get a guy to stay in the triple threat game. Let's hop into one last triple threat game with George Mikan to see if we can get a guy to stay in the game. Same thing here. Fat Lever is really my only playmaking point guard. What is that? I just wanted to stop for three, but he wanted to do all these crazy dribble moves. I just don't know about that. What I do know is George Mikan, that's way left. My fault. I do got to get better with the shot stick. I've been trying to really learn it because it's really all new to me. That's way left. It's new to me. It's something I'd never have done before is use a shot stick for shooting. So there's definitely a learning curve with it. Definitely a big time learning curve. I didn't really play the prelude like that to learn it either because I was in the denial stage. I didn't really want to have to learn something that I didn't think would be useful. So it's kind of where I'm at now. George Mikan, drop step him. He's a baby. George Mikan with the Hall of Fame drop stepper. Wow, Al Horford, oh my lord, on the defensive end, he is playing very, very well. George Mikan, we're sitting on that. Good defense. Al is everywhere. Look at Al get those paws up there. Back to George. George, tough. I thought he would slam it. I wish Fat had some better dribble sigs, but it is what it is. Same thing there. With the shot stick, I am struggling big time right now. I thought that should have been green. It wasn't. Back to George. That one's definitely not green. Back to George. This one's got to be. So I got a green eventually, right? I got a green eventually. George Mikan, coast to coast, gets the lay-in to go. Good defense, Al. Board. Thank you. Look at Al Horford. He's balling right now. Stop on the break, George. Green. That's right in the center. What can I do to green it if that's not green? Another brick there from Mikan. Mikan is struggling. He's got an 83 ball. You'd think he'd be better right now at shooting than he is. But he is bricking almost everything he's throwing up at the hoop right now. Al Horford is nothing but impressed me on the defensive end of the court. Good Lord. I haven't even noticed his speed rating at all. He's just been boxing everything. There's George Mikan. It's about as good a play as George Mikan's made all day. Boxing what Shaq was doing right there. Back to him. Back to Al. Back to George Green. George Mikan, you're killing me right now. You are killing me right now. I got to be able to green more consistently with you. Get it up to Al. Over to Al. Simply put, I just cannot shoot the ball right now. I cannot shoot the ball right now with George, with anybody. And I feel like it's close to being perfect every single time. Fat lever with a big time jam. It's only 6-6. I've been playing this game for 4 minutes and it's only 6-6 because I can't shoot the ball. Back to George. Into Al. Big Al with a slam dunk, and we're starting to get it going. I just had to go away from shooting for a little bit until I can get in my rhythm. And then I might be able to find a three-pointer here and there once I get in my rhythm. George, you're running into a brick wall in George Mikan every single time. It's a travel. Good call, ref. One thing I will say, even though George is struggling shooting-wise, defensively, he has been lights out. There it is. Green. Finally, I get a green ball to go. I'm not worried about you, Kobe. Good defense from George. Up to Fat. We're running circles right now. I love it. I love it. Put him in a pick and pop situation. Back to George. George. Is that a straight arm? Is that the straight arm animation? I don't know. I felt like that was in the green window. George Mikan gets it to go. Anyways, we are up 13-6 right now. Yup. Easy steal from George. We're stopping on the break because why not? Stop on the break. Green. Should be green. It's not green, but it should have been green. I don't know what shooting is. I'm still not that good at shooting. I've showed some glimpses, I feel like, of being able to shoot. That's not going in. But overall, I'm very inconsistent shooting-wise. Super, super inconsistent. Gotta definitely shore up some things with shooting here in the next couple of weeks. But George Mikan, that's one thing he's going to give you is the ability to have that stretch big on the floor, especially in unlimited and limited. So George Mikan gets a nice mid-range jumper to go, has a good midi, has a good three ball, and has shown a very good ability on the defensive end within this gameplay. Good, Al. Al is balling right now. That's the one takeaway I will say is Al Horford. Get it back to him. I really wanted to shoot it back to George. That's a perfectly centered release, I feel like. All right, it's time to end the game. I've been messing around way too much with Al Horford, or with George Mikan. It's time to end the game. He is just letting me shoot, though. I didn't even need to move it. I don't know why I moved it. I should have locked it in right away. But hopefully we can find a way to get this win, because that's really all that matters. George Mikan. Green. All I have to do is catch it in rhythm to green it. Yeah, wow. Come here, George. Get it back into him. Can you just not pick up your dribble for a second? Bury him. Thank you, George. That's the thing I'm talking about. If you don't pick up your dribble right away, I get Kobe's forcing you to. Then it's a dunk almost every single time. Good job right there. Chase down. Look at George. Wow. That's good shot defense and everything. George has takeover again. Let's just run. Nobody is stopping Fat Lever. Coast to coast for an easy lay-in. We end up winning by 6 points. Hopping into the box score is really, really ugly, but the thing is he played great defense, 7 of 20, 2 of 14 from 3. Obviously terrible. I got to get better shooting-wise, but that's all I can really say about George Mikan. I still love the card. Alright, yeah, that is going to wrap it up for Pink Diamond George Mikan gameplay. I still am super, super high on the card. I think when I apply some badges, get used to the shot stick a little bit more, he is going to be absolutely incredible. I truly do believe that. Is he worth the grind just for George Mikan? No. But for all the MT, all of the tokens, everything like that, I grinded for him, and I think it's a great way to start off NBA 2K21. And I think George Mikan is going to be one of the top centers, if not the best center in NBA 2K21. That's gonna wrap it up for the video. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love y'all and have a blessed day.